My name is Stu Kolinsky. I'm the VP of Sales for IP Phone. Dan suggested that we have some other of our people here today, our entourage, which just demonstrates our upping the ante on the commitment to assisting TCG in getting more deals and supporting the enterprise, all right? So, John, you want to just stand up so he just sees who you are. John, this is John Ficara. Yeah, John, he's been with us about 6 months. His hair was black before he started with us. All right. Then we have, of course, the iconic Eric. I'll buy you a steak if you get me an appointment. Levitt. All right. Aubrey, why don't you stand up? Aubrey Bernard. All right, who is doubles as my bodyguard and one of our sales reps. He's also, by the way, the sales representative who brought us the Club Med account in Santo Domingo, the 800-room property, and because he did such a great job, we made him Chief Hospitality Officer, right? No raise, title, all right? And where's George? And George Loureiro, our Brazilian contingent man. George has been with the company almost 16 years, 17 years, whatever it is. He's finally completing sentences in English now, and if he does anything wrong, all he says is blame it on Rio, all right? So, anyways, these guys, as Dan mentioned, are at your disposal, okay, to assist you in any opportunities that you may have, especially if we're one of the ones you're quoting. Okay? So that being said, this is a two-prong presentation for you today. The first is going to go over IP phone, not the deep dive into IP phone, because some of you and we know a lot of you, you've been at these things before. Some of you have seen me, this is the third time. And by the way, I just want to ask you one question. How many times do I have to tell you this stuff before you get it? All right? So that being said, we're going to do a sort of a cursory view of our IP phone, what's new, who we are, and what have you. Then, phase two of our presentation today will be on talking about some sales fundamentals that will hopefully assist you in bring and resurface back some of the fundamental activities that it takes to get a deal done. It has nothing to do with the price of a seat or how much bandwidth we need. It's the functionality of getting in front of people and how we act and how we talk and when we get there and how we look at people and how we ask questions and a few things like that. I had the luxury of being a professional sales trainer and motivational speaker for about 15 years. I traveled worldwide doing it, enough about me. But the point is, and by the way, there is a difference between a public speaker and a professional speaker. A public speaker doesn't get paid, a professional speaker does. All right, so I guess I'm a public speaker today, but so was Socrates, and look what happened to him. All right? So anyways, we're going to have this two-pronged approach. Stay with me today. We'll have some fun, particularly with part two, all right? Because, we're all in this together, and we are all, at the crux of the matter, salespeople, all right? Our job is to get more customers every single day. We're just lucky enough to be in an industry that is self-perpetuating, offers this, residual income opportunity, and has some assets that a lot of other kinds of industries don't. And most of us, from just looking around the room, we have some tenure here. A lot of us have been doing this for a fair amount of time, and sometimes we just start taking a lot of things for granted. And you have to go back to basics sometimes to see, where you started and why, get that fire brewing again, and then bring the good products out to the public. So let's get at it. IP phone. A couple of thumbnails on IP phone. We were established in 1997. We are a Florida-based company headquartered in North Miami. We have a continuous representation and headquartered effect in South Florida. So our focus is in South Florida, and soon to let you know about North Florida. We are a complete CLEC with nationwide rate centers. We're an internet service provider providing the bandwidth via AT&T, FPL, and we have the tools. So anytime you have the bandwidth needs, as some of you do, we're happy to quote it. We focus on B2B accounts. We have no residential outlook. Our sweet spot is anywhere from 5 to 500 users, generally speaking, multi-locations, and we have installations on virtually every continent right now, I think, except for Greenland. All right. So we're working on that right now. It'll be a summertime project. All right. We've gone over where we offer best-in-class services. We are a BroadSoft shop headquartered at the Napa of the Americas. With our infrastructure, and soon to be in another data center, which I'll show you momentarily. We offer, all of our handsets are Polycom, Yealink, and the traditional, fare of handsets. We're sort of agnostic to them, whether you get them online, whether you have your own, or whether we provide them for you. We acquired recently, which may be news to some people, we acquired a company called Telecom, which was a hosted provider of telephony in the Jacksonville, North Florida market. So we wanted to expand our horizons a little bit, so we bought the assets of the company in late March and have been integrating their 250 or 300 customers into our fold. We've already changed all the origination and termination of all the transmission so far, and we're moving everybody into the BroadSoft environment. So, IP phone by the numbers. We've been in business 19 years. We have about 2,300 separate corporate logos, 30,000 active subscribers, seats on desks, 24-hour support. Our support function has tiers 1, 2, and 3. Some of you have been, acquainted with it. We try to do our best to solve problems at first resolution or as fast as we possibly can. We do have a 99% retention rate, so which sort of lends itself to all the activities that we do. We try to be friendly and professional with people. The people in the company, I would say, have an average of 6+ years with the company, so everybody is vested. Our strategic advantage, obviously, are these. Whoops. We have a Florida focus. For you guys here, a lot of you know us, because we are here, and because we go on calls with you, and we do demos for you, and we're right down the street. So, you have that as an advantage, at least from our point of view, when we're competing with other providers that we know we do. That's the building we own on 135th Street. Our pricing is always, we believe, flexible and aggressive. And we're ready to move. We don't want to lose any customers. We want to get every customer we possibly can. So, Dan mentioned a little bit about the relationship with TCG. I just go over the numbers, and we've been actively supporting TCG for about, I don't know, maybe 13 or 14 months, Eric, right? So we currently have about $70,000 in revenue. That was a couple of months ago, I think, because now it's a little bit higher because I think Eric had a decent month for a change, all right? All right, we've sold 175 accounts. We've done 570,000 quotes. Just kidding, all right? And I don't even think that includes revisions. Thank you very much. And Elizabeth Georges, who sits there with carpal tunnel syndrome, knocking these back over a 24-hour, wanted me to say hello and thanks for the medical bills, all right? But anyway, we appreciate it all, and hopefully that number is going to grow, obviously. You know that. We now have 5 dedicated channel managers to assist you. I've introduced them all. They are at your beck and call, and they're ready to go out on calls, do demonstrations, whatever the case may be. Aubrey, as I mentioned before, in the hospitality industry as a new vertical that's getting a lot of attention, would be happy to go. So whenever you have one, we'll defer that to Aubrey, and he makes a great presentation and has great case studies on how to get at that hospitality industry. 2 help desks. And sales engineer Abraham, who a lot of you have met also Steve Dean. We have 2 corporate trainers now. So, it's a fully baked environment for deployment, particularly on a very local basis. But we will install anywhere again on the planet. So what's new at IP Phone? Okay, I mentioned this acquisition, all right, of a company called Telecom. That was their numbers. It was a smaller provider, who just wanted out and, wanted to get rid of it. And so we went up there and expanded our horizons. So we have a full-blown office with technicians, project managers, installers, trainers, and the like, and support people in the top left corner of that Bankers Life building, all right? That's exactly where we are, by the way, all right? So this is a very exciting time for us. So now it gives us really, the opportunity to do quick and easy deployments and less expensive deployments anywhere regionally. All right, we have a new contact center. BroadSoft, in case you didn't know, bought a company called Tessera, Tessera, I believe. Tessera was an advanced analytic contact center, boutique kind of contact center provider. And BroadSoft bought the company lock, stock, and barrel. So now, instead of having just the fundamental contact center environment where, with routing and skills level, skills management and dropping throughout a queue, this hosts inbound and outbound traffic. So, any kind of call center, regardless of, what they have, it does social networking, some of the things that you'll see on here. We've gotten the presentations on it right now. I haven't talked to a live one, but their claim to fame is that they are the contact center for Office Depot. okay, supporting 10,000 representatives worldwide. So I guess that was, that was a name brand enough for BroadSoft to go in and buy the company. So there'll be more to come on this. I do have a webinar and some PowerPoints on it, which I'll share with you when you want to see them. But if you run into a complex situation for contact centers, don't shy away from it. We can do it, or we'll bring the people in who can. But what happens when you get into these kinds of centers, the seat pricing goes up to approximately $100 a seat, okay? Now, that's exactly, who made that sound? That's exactly the sound I made, Benny, because I'm used to selling $35 and $45 contact center seats, fundamentally right? But what happens is, when you have contact centers that are doing outbound selling of, physical equipment or $10,000 items or whatever the case may be, they want to know how long you're on every call. And for $100 a month, for $3 a day, it's worth whether or not he sold that gym equipment to me or not. That cost $2,000 with 43 monthly payments. So, I don't like to spend other people's money, all right? And I think that's a rule of thumb that everybody should employ. So, because these people, they want the information and willing to pay for it on an individual basis per agent. So anyways, they have this. This will be coming out soon. We're happy to say that we are implementing a dual site in New Jersey, in the Clifton, New Jersey market, with a fully redundant BroadSoft platform to be in Q4, all right? So, we have a very, knock on wood, we have a very good history of uptime, but this will just, add fuel to the fire. So, it's what they call geodiverse, different marketplace, different climate, different weather.
Do you offer predictive dialing and IVR?
Well, BroadSoft has partners in their marketplace that does do that, all right? So if you have that application, they do have dialer interfaces, and we bring those people in and employ them in, all right? It's like putting on a CRM. There's an interface, and there's a monthly cost or a one-time charge to get that. So BroadSoft has a partner list that will do just about any kind of integration in some of these arrangements.
In the hosted environment, so...
Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, absolutely. All right. So again, anytime you have that, and again, our sales engineer Abraham, who is versed with all these partners, will arrange the interface and the contact with your prospects. All right, so that's that. Here's something else that's new. For about the last year, IP Phone has had a free, included, if you wish, call reporting system, where we offer a link to our clients, and they can go in and see who's making calls, how long they're on the phone, inbound, outbound, calls by area code, standard, SMDR, station message detail recording. All right? Okay, remember that word? I know you do. All right? So we included that, and probably about 30% of the customers use it, for some benefit. However, we are now in the next week or two signing a deal with a company out of London that has an advanced call reporting feature that mimics what people get in advanced call centers. So for inbound, outbound, and it actually does virtually real-time call reporting. So companies with these kinds of applications who have people on the phone, inbound or outbound, this is going to be available to them. More to come with a lot of advanced reportings and a wallboard, all right? And they don't have to be an actual contact center. We have a new product called Cloud Fax. Not eFax, not FaxBox, which we traditionally have had over the last 2 or 3 years. This is Cloud Fax. So what it is, it handles incoming and outgoing fax, no long distance charges, portal access, fax directly from or to your email with a fax number, and notification of delivered or retry. It's $12 a month, unlimited. And will support up to 10 email accounts per account, all right, for 12 bucks. We're selling a lot of it, all right? We're selling a lot of it. From what I understand, it's a good price point, for unlimited services. All right? So we'll have a flyer coming out, a PDF will be out on this very shortly. Benny?
Are you able to integrate that into CRM?
Aubrey?
Have the capability of faxing directly from...
I don't know. Like a click to dial from fax through the CRM? I don't know. Huh? Not yet? Okay. Not yet, Benny. Good question. He always has great questions, doesn't he, Eric? You told me to watch out for him.
I did.
All right? Yes.
Can you sell that individually?
Yes. It's a feature project, a product. There's no contract on it or anything. Okay? It's a month-to-month kind of thing. It's a feature. All right? Why, you want one? Okay. All right, let's talk a little bit about some vertical ideas that we've noticed over the last 6 or 7 months have gotten some traction. You know, we keep track of the kinds of customers we're selling and the kinds of customers that are looking to move into the hosted environment. Okay, the first one, as I mentioned before, is hospitality. There's a whole big move for the hotel motel industry to, you know, get rid of old iron, as they say in the basement, these old obsolete, you know, Mitels and Siemens and Nortels and NECs, and bring them out and replace everything with hosted. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on how it's done, but what we do is we put audio codes in so they keep the phones in the room and give them Polycoms or Yearling something for the admin department, and they're in an OpEx environment with a per room rate, which is a less expensive seat, all right, because in the hotel rooms, because they don't make money on phone services anymore, so the seats go for anywhere from, you know, $8 or $9 a seat, all in, including the audio code, which changes analog to digital. Everybody got that? All right. Yes, great question. It integrates with a company called Jazz, which BroadSoft also bought, which is a PMS integration software. So the answer to your question is yes. Okay? And now BroadSoft, because the company was headquartered right here in Delray, it's now a BroadSoft office. So if you have a hotel application, these folks are available, you know, to assist you on calls or whatever it is. And of course, employ Aubrey because he's become, you know, an expert at it. Okay, so it's a good market. You know, there's 1.5 billion hotels. They're all going through it, and a lot of the big chain hotels and what have you have all been sanctioned via, you know, to BroadSoft as their carrier of choice. All right, education. Let me just list a couple of these. Nursing homes. Let me get this. These two together. So we noticed that we're getting a lot of quote opportunities for schools and for nursing homes and hospitals, these kinds of places. And the only difference between a hotel and a nursing home, you just don't know when they're checking out. What? All right, anyways, you know, someday, I'm hoping to pick up my Polycom, all right? So anyways, so education, schools, universities, private schools, we've done a tremendous amount of quoting in private schools from various other people. So we created a product for these environments, very similar to the hospitality industry. So the admin departments of all these entities, whether it's a school or a nursing home, you know, the people that sit up front, all right? And then you have phones that go into the rooms and or classrooms. So we developed, because of a need, they need to have paging, all right? And they need to have 911 and those kinds of features in classrooms and in nursing homes, all right? So we came up with a seat, if you will, that is an extension license, just a fundamental license, a low-end license with paging, all right? And I don't know, what is it, like $12.95? Like $12.95 or something for the seat, knowing that it's not a kind of a, you know, seat that people are using that don't need all the standard PBX functionality. These phones are used, frankly, rarely, all right? But it's mandated by law that they have to have phones in these rooms, just like a hotel. So we have this now, and we're finding that the price point is becoming, you know, palatable, rather than charging $15 or $20 for a seat when you have, you know, 65 classrooms. It's out of line.
So you're saying that you would provide the page-all feature with the basic seat?
Yes, we unbundled the license and just added the feature to the extension seat. Okay, everybody got that? All right, so it's a good, and we're getting a fair amount of them. We've got some good ones going. All right, and of course, contact centers are becoming much more and more popular now. Companies are looking to create contact centers in their businesses. They don't even call them call centers anymore. The term is passé. People are calling it contact centers, and not only are they just having a room full of people taking calls, it's the way they route traffic in their company, because they don't want calls to go away. So everybody's part of the contact center, particularly, you know, with a hosted queue and just the way they route them. All right, so that's that. Just to let you know, we're doing a deep dive in the hospitality thing. Aubrey went to New Orleans in June for the high-tech show, which is the Hospitality Industry Technology Show. It's a 3 or 4 day show. That's the ad we had in their full-page magazine, all right? And you know, we're in it, and we've got some good traction going. So if you have that opportunity, please, you know, we can handle it. All right. So one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit now is that from time to time we get in a situation where customers want certain features, and you know, we have to know which license to provide. So everybody knows that we have 3 licenses: premium, standard, and extension, right? You know, the three hierarchies of feature sets. So there are 4 or 5 features that mandate the premium license. I just want you to, this is just FYI, okay? Busy lamp field. Paging on the phones, the push to talk is a premium feature. Shared call appearance, you know, they have 2 phones, or they have 1 cordless and 1 regular. Shared call appearance, or 1 at home. Call forward selective, directed call pickup, and remote office. Please do not ask me what the last 3 are. Okay, thank you very, very much for your attention on that matter. Don't do it, Nate. All right? All right, anyways, there are a few features, and we've gotten, you know, once in a blue moon we get caught up in them because we go out to do the deployment and the customer says, I need this, and it wasn't on the original order, and we just did a standard seat, and then we got to go back and say this is a premium license, you know, and someone's got to eat it, or we provide it and, you know, beg the customer to pay for it. All right? Simultaneous ring is another one. Everybody knows what that is. All right? Okay, some new phones have come out, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the Polycom new lineup. The VVX 101, all right? You know, basic handset, two hold buttons. You can see them on the left. You know, they're all based on, certainly on price point. So, classroom phones, nursing home phones, hospital rooms, you know, call center, right? Where all they need is a handset without all the function. I'm sorry? This is part of the VVX series.
This only has 1 line, 1 real line of courtesy.
Yeah.
Programmable keys only has 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's not for, you know, a user, if you will, but for applications where all they need is a fundamental handset, you know, the price point, you know, rules on some of these, all right? So on the rent-to-own, particularly on the rent-to-own. The 201 has, you know, 3 hold buttons. Dax, you seem to know about this. The 201? And
The 201 should give you 2 programmable keys. But
yeah.
It also gives you 2 call pads.
Yeah, something like that. Whatever it is, it's all on the internet. We just want to let you know that we have these now. It's added up to the lineup of Polycom. And last but not least is the Polycom VVX D60, which is basically a cordless phone that acts as an accessory, different than, you know, the Panasonic cordless environment, different than the Yealink cordless environment. It's not a system. It's an accessory. If somebody wants a phone they want to carry back into the warehouse as an adjunct to their desk phone, this is it acts as a Polycom phone, all right?
It's wireless.
Okay, and it's wireless as well.
So that would work with any of the VVX series phones?
Yes. Yeah.
Big 400.
400, well, yeah, I mean, I think the 300, I don't know about these new ones, all right? But I'll get back to him on that, okay? All right, Yealink came out with a new line of phones. You know, I know you guys don't push these a lot. The company up in Jacksonville, that's all they sold was Yealink. It's the second biggest, I'm not promoting them by any means, but I am saying they are the second largest provider of handsets on the planet, all right? In Europe, in Asia, and what have you. That's all they sell is Yealink. They're actually, you know, a sloppy second to Polycom now in numbers, all right? So I wouldn't dismiss them. The price point is better, the feature set is the same, and if you notice there's a G after each phone, which means what? Gigabit. It's a gigabit phone, and sometimes people like that if they're going to have a gigabit network, and the price point on these is very, very affordable, all right? All right, so why hosted PBX with IP phone? You know, these are the 5 big reasons why people move into this environment. So most of you know this information, but you know, if they want just an OpEx environment, something complete, cost-effective, future-proof, and scalable, you know, people are moving into VoIP. All right, you knuckleheads, listen up. All right, so let's talk about value. This sheet, you know, exemplifies our projection of our company and why we believe that we're the best choice when going this route. All right, this PDF is included, as many of you know, on every proposal that we write. This is our checklist of what we think we do best and differentiate ourselves amongst some of the other peers in our marketplace, all right? You know, it doesn't mean that everybody is like this. This is our take on it, all right? And we think we acquiesce pretty well to this. The only thing that is not on here, all right, and that you all know of, and I didn't bring a PDF on it, is that we have a 6-month guarantee on every product we sell, okay? If we can't make you happy or make it work, you know, after attempts and what have you, and we'll take our toys and go home, okay? So that's a pretty good comfort position. Would you all agree with that? I mean, 6 months, holy crap, all right? All right? Okay, so here's the spiff. I'm going to end it up, this is what we're paying, all right? This is our good to the end of the year spiff to you folks, all right? I just wanted to go over one item on it. If you look in the bottom right corner, all right, or the right side, you'll see a box in there, and I wanted just to clarify what that means, all right? Everybody understands what the spiffs are and how much the revenue associated with it. You know, we've dropped our drawers a little bit to give you more spiff on some smaller accounts because we want everything, because, you know, these smaller accounts end up growing, by the way. We all know that, all right? So what this means over here is that we have a customer incentive. And the customer incentive means that if you guys bundle bandwidth, anything 10 meg or over, the customer on a 36-month deal, all right, and number one, if you look at it, it says 10 meg circuit, it's $25 a month discount off of the hosted piece, right, whatever their hosted MRC is, it's just minus $25. They'll get that every single month for 36 months, which adds up to how much money? Very close, 900, all right? 36 times 25 is 900, okay? 36 times 50 is 1,800. 36 times 75 for a 50 meg circuit, and I don't care how many seats they have, okay? I mean, the bill could almost be zero, but I can't imagine somebody with less than 4 seats with a 100 meg pipe, all right? All right? I mean, they're putting something in that pipe, all right? Anyways, and then lastly is the 100 meg circuit. It comes up to $3,600, which is basically 2 months free of the entire MRC. So does everybody understand that? This is a customer promo. You get yours, but now they can have theirs for your thinking and your forethought in including us in the bandwidth, the combo bundle. All right, that's what that's about. Okay, so I told you there's going to be a part 2 here today, all right? And I mentioned earlier today that all of us have a career. We've had this career, whether we got in it by design or by default, we're all in sales. Is that a fair statement? All right? You know, it just so happens that you happen to sell what? What kind of services?
Telephony.
Huh? Telephony, telecommunications, technology, IT. You're all sales because in order to have a profession and have products and have services, you first have to have a what? A customer. All right? So we all want more customers. Fair statement? And that's what this is all about.